friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you, pause, I'm a little bit sick, so if I cough or sound a little bit raspy, that's why. So today I'm going to talk about weddings and setting a date for a wedding and planning weddings and what I did. And I got a couple comments on this, and so I felt like I should really make a video because I struggled with that a lot, picking a date and everything. I had another wedding channel, which I will post a link to that in the bottom. It was really bad. It was really bad because I kind of didn't really know how to do a YouTube video yet. And so, especially for planning a wedding. And I posted some videos last year, I guess, because I planned my wedding last year. And I just posted the first one that I did, the first one ever that I did on that YouTube channel. And I will let you watch it, but just know that they're really terrible, and if you want to get a kick out of them, then you can go ahead and click on that link and watch those videos. I just want to give you the best advice that I can and hope that you're not stressed by the end of this, or it gives you just a little bit of hope. So let's get started. So the first thing that I encourage you to do, or not really encourage, but kind of think it would be best for you to do, is something that I said not to do at the very beginning, but it's also for a different reason. Let me just go ahead and tell you, because that would be probably easier. So at the very beginning, I told you, don't get married quickly. Don't get married just from the court quickly, blah, blah, blah. And I said that because you don't just want to get married for the money. You want to get married because you love each other. However, if you have been proposed to, if he asked you to marry him, and you are ready to plan a wedding in about a year, then I suggest that you get court married. And I say that because if you are his wife, you have a lot of benefits. When you're not his wife, if he gets hurt or something goes wrong, they're not going to contact you first. They're going to contact his parents. Because it doesn't matter if you're his fiance right now or if you're his fiance the day before the wedding, they're not going to contact you because you are not his wife and you do not have those benefits. So if he's maybe going to go on deployment in the next few years, or maybe even next year, or he doesn't really know exactly when you can get married, I suggest that you get court married first. And that'll help a lot because if something does happen to him, then you are already his wife. And the thing that I thought about was whenever we got court married was, first of all, I love him, so I want to be with him for the rest of my life, and I already know that. And second, if something does happen to him and we have to postpone our wedding, I want to be his wife, and I want to know that he's okay. And so I suggest doing that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, and you can just wait till you get married. But that's just a suggestion that I think that you should do. The prime time for military is December, January, because it's called Palm Period. Palm Period. And Palm Period is they either get to choose December or they get to choose January. And I don't know how it is for all military, but for Navy, they get to choose if they want to come home for the Christmas season or if they want to come home for the New Year season. And they write down what they want, they turn it in, it gets approved, whatever. So if you're thinking about December, January time, good for you, because that's they all get to go off during one of those times. As far as planning a date, that I can give you advice on, but I am not gonna tell you that it's going to be easy, because it's not. And the only really advice that I have is plan an area where you want to get married. So say you want to get married in February. If you want to get married in February and he's thinking, or his ship is thinking about deploying in April, that's not a good time to get married. And I say all of this from my experience, which is Navy. So I don't know about any other branch. I feel like it's the same, but I'm just speaking Navy right now. What happens whenever they're about to go on deployment is they do a lot of training. My husband has to leave for about a month and a half to just train before deployment. And he has a lot of underways scheduled in between that and around that. And that's one of the busiest times for them. And the military isn't going to say, oh, okay, yeah, you don't have to train with us because you need to go get married. They're not going to be okay with that. And even if they were, like, my husband would be scared to even ask, because that puts a lot of, like, what are you thinking towards them? Like, the captain or whoever they're talking to is like, why would you even ask that? And so you don't want to make them ask that. So make sure you're doing it way in advance before deployment, or, you know, maybe schedule it for when they come back, because they do have 2 weeks before deployment and after deployment to spend with their families. And so make sure you do it in those areas if you are planning on getting married to them. And so the next advice that I would give is, if you are planning a wedding in February, ask them to ask their chain of command what they're going to be doing around February. You know, what does their schedule look like in advance? And a lot of times, their chain of command will know. If they're doing something like super busy or time consuming, don't make your fiance leave or have to even ask to leave, because that can look really bad on them. If they're not that busy, then let the fiance know to tell them, me and my wife are planning on getting married during this time, and so I'm thinking about possibly taking leave during February, and whatever. Let them have a conversation with their chain of command way in advance before anything, because that lets the chain of command know, okay, this guy knows ahead of time what's going to be happening. He's not just saying that he's going to leave for any random reason. He has this, like, an actual thing, and all of them, probably most of them, are married and have gone through the same thing, and so they completely understand. And so have him talk to the chain of command and let them know. And then also, he is going to have to fill out a leave chit. And I don't know how it works for everyone, but I think you can only fill out a leave chit within a certain period of time before you think you have to leave. And as soon as he can fill out that leave chit, have him fill out that leave chit. Because he fills it out, he sends it to one person, they say, okay, you can go. And then the next person says, okay, he can go. And he has to get it approved. If he doesn't get it approved, then he can't go. He can't go to the wedding. And so make sure that he fills out that leave chit as soon as he can, so that he can make it to the wedding. Now, my overall suggestion for even planning a wedding or planning a date or anything like that is, don't have a huge wedding, or make sure your caterers or people who are working with you know that you're military. Also make sure that if you are planning a wedding, to maybe get some people that are close to you and can be flexible. Like my DJ, he was someone who was close to me. He was my neighbor in college, and I asked him to be a part of my wedding, and he said yes, and he was super flexible because he wasn't like this huge business that had all these people. Like, he was just a guy who knew how to do DJing. And so I asked him, and he said yes. And if I had changed the date, then he would be like, sure, you know, why not? And so if you are planning a wedding, try to get as many people involved that are kind of just friends who can be flexible. And if you can't do that, then just let them know that things might change and see if they can work with you. But they are a business, and so first come, first serve. If someone else asks them that next weekend, then they might be booked, and just expect that it might be a little bit stressful. And I encourage you to also pray, because, and I don't know how spiritual you all are, but I know I had to pray because I just got so stressed out, because the military is very stressful. Like, being married to someone in the military is stressful when it comes to making a wedding work when you don't know their schedule at all. And I even put, actually, on my save the date cards, this is the date, but things might change. Like, he's in the military, so things might change. And your family should understand, because first of all, his family knows he's in the military. And second, like, your family knows you're marrying someone who's in the military. And so don't stress about, like, they're not going to understand, they're going to be mad or whatever. Don't worry about what they're going to think, because it's your wedding, your marriage. But I just really encourage you to be proactive. Like, as soon as you know, I'm a very proactive person. If any of you need help with wedding planning, like, let me know, because I planned my entire wedding. No, my mom helped me, but I did everything. I was also going to school, I worked, And so I planned everything. I made my own save the date cards. I even made my own programs. And here's a program that I made. So it's really cute, right? So you can like make things yourself. Don't make everything yourself, obviously, but do a little bit yourself just to make it easier. But yeah, so I mean, if anybody needs help researching stuff, like I research and I always try to find the best price. I'm like super good when it comes to finding the best price on anything. But that's besides the point. So scheduling the date is super, super important, but don't stress too much about it. But also be proactive, and if you're spiritual, pray about it, because I know that whenever I prayed about it, it was like I knew the Lord was going to take care of it. Like, if I needed to change the date, then no big deal. If I didn't need to change the date, then praise the Lord. Like, I think the scary thing about changing the date is, like, it's not going to work out. Like, nothing's going to work out. It's not going to be your dream wedding. It's not going to be perfect. Everything's going to fall into place and all this stuff. But I think, like, now looking back at it, you know, because you get so wrapped up in having weddings and making it seem perfect, and the perfect dress and the perfect people and all this stuff, that you forget that it's not about the day. It's not about the wedding day. It's about your life with them and spending the rest of your life with them and having this like beautiful marriage that's not only for that one day. And just so you know, things are going to not work out. My best friend's wedding, she had a beautiful wedding, but not everything worked out. I had a wedding, I had a beautiful wedding, but not everything worked out. And there's one thing that always goes wrong. Always. Always, always. Just remember that. And so I want you guys to know that, you know, if you ever need any help with your wedding, or you ever need help planning, that I can be there with you and I can help you and give you more advice through email. Just, again, like I said, be proactive and let him know that this is important. And I mean, I'm sure he knows it's important, but guys aren't really like as proactive as women. But let him know, like, as soon as you can talk to your chain of command about that you're going to have a wedding and that you're probably going to be gone, and what does this month look like to you, then let them know, and then let me know so we can start scheduling together. So I hope this helped. I hope that it gave you a little bit of encouragement. If not, I can explain more on it. If you want me to do more wedding videos on whatever topic, just leave me a comment below and I will. I had my wedding under $10,000 and I did it all by myself. And so I feel like I'm like a professional wedding planner, but I'm not. I'm not. So anyways, like, if you need any advice or want me to do more wedding videos, I can. Just leave me a comment below. Be sure to email me if you need any advice or anything. Just be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you think I'm cool and awesome. And anyways, I will see y'all next week.